With Janice Cobb of Save My Pet ID Tag, engraved with your pet's info, they allow emergency personnel to start care for your pets if you're sick or injured. Head over to SaveMyPetIDTag.com and explore products. They ensure peace of mind for you and for your four-legged family.
Hey, I want you to call your dog over because he or she needs to join you. That's because our special guest today heads up a company that unleashes very innovative dog products, bowls, treat things, you name it. You're going to find out in a second. And all of these are sure to make your dog howl with delight. And he was on our show way back in 2023. So please welcome back to our show the founder of a great company called Soda Pop. I'm talking Adam Baker. Welcome back, Adam.
Hello. It's good to be back. Thank you.
So before we dive in, because you've been a busy man since 23, you didn't just be stagnant. You got a whole bunch of new items that are sure to delight dogs of all sizes. But people are always curious about the backstory. How did you get to be the founder of Soda Pop? So I believe you did some things in the corporate world, and then you got this inspiration one day in your basement.
Well, the inspiration didn't come from the basement. Okay. It was carried out in the basement.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So my background was actually in the sporting goods industry, and I worked for Nike for a decade, and I worked with Under Armour when they were a young company.
Nice.
Then I moved to Colorado with my wife. She's from Colorado, where I worked for Crocs Footwear. And we did that for a time. And I'd been watching the pet industry in 2008 when I first started at Crocs. 2008, the economy was terrible.
Oh, I remember.
And I noticed that the pet industry, it grew by like 4%. And now this economy that was collapsing. So I thought, well, that's really interesting. And I love dogs and cats. We have 2 dogs and a cat now, 3 dogs and a cat at the time. And so I started studying the pet industry and walking the aisles of pet stores and just started noodling on what could I bring to the industry that wasn't already there.
And you touched upon something there, too, that is a good tip for people thinking about wanting to become an entrepreneur or wanting to launch their own business. You looked at the market and you saw that the pet industry was a little bit more bulletproof than other sectors, right?
Yeah, and of course there's limits to the bulletproofness. But again, I came from sporting goods where I was a product strategist. So I was responsible for apparel and footwear collections. And there's a certain cadence to the footwear and apparel business. There's a lot of newness, right? And even though it's sporting goods, there's still a fashion element to it, right?
Oh, absolutely.
You deliver new collections and consumers go in to buy the latest.
Just say the 2 words, Caitlin Clark.
There you go. Yeah. So the big kind of aha that I had with the pet industry, particularly in the toy space, and bowls, lick mats didn't exist at the time, is just that it was very slow moving. It was always the same stuff.
Yeah.
And I thought, well, you know what? The consumer is the same consumer that shops for apparel and footwear. Mm-hmm. It's just, but these principles weren't being applied in the pet space. So I thought, well, what if I could run the Nike playbook in a whole new industry? And the Nike playbook, it starts with the consumer. Who are you making the product for?
Nice.
Design products for that person. And so that's where it starts. It's got to be cool product and it has to be targeted at somebody. And my observation of the pet industry is that people weren't thinking about the consumer.
Man, this is genius stuff. Keep going.
So, well, a dog bowl is a dog bowl is a dog bowl, right?
Not necessarily.
Exactly. So I thought, well, what if I could make a dog bowl that actually speaks to somebody, that creates an emotional connection somehow? And so when we started doing our slow feeder bowls, we focused on doing beautiful graphic designs that would resonate with a female consumer.
So very colorful. What material are you talking about?
These are made out of polypropylene, but the color palette is a little bit more home decor focused versus dog toy, bright neon focused. So you think about this. I mean, the vast majority of people shopping for their pets are women, and it's over 70%. And so if that woman goes in and goes shopping for apparel, she wants to see new things. She wants attractive garments. She wants beautiful colors. And so I'm like, okay, if that's the way she's thinking, these are her considerations, why can't I give her those things in this product type? And so we've essentially kind of introduced a fashion element to this very slow-moving, static, dare I say, boring product category. And we've done the same thing with lick mats, and we've done the same thing with rubber toys and nylon chew toys. And so that was kind of, when you boil it all down, this is what Soda Pup is trying to do. We're trying to bring more novelty into a slow-moving category. Like most dog toys, the shapes are dog bones and paws and things that are very obvious, but not very creative and not necessarily very
Well, give us a couple of your examples.
Well, here's one I just designed, but your listeners won't be able to see it, but it is a nylon chew toy in the shape of a hockey stick.
Oh, right. Go Stanley Cup. Woof. Okay.
We recently did a I Love Canada, We Love Canada collection.
Okay.
Actually, it happened right before the tariffs. But
oh, no.
So we've got a Canadian maple leaf.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
And we have a hockey puck that holds the bully stick.
What the puck? Nice job, Adam.
So when you look at it all together, your listeners will have to imagine it.
No, they know what a maple leaf is, a hockey stick and a puck. Yeah.
So this also illustrates how we're not just developing an item, we're developing a collection. And when you merchandise those three things together, it tells a story and is targeting a certain kind of consumer. And so
now, before you go further, because I know people are as curious as cats, Soda Pup, how did you get that name?
Yeah, so Soda Pup, well, so what happened was I wanted to produce everything in the United States. And I met with a manufacturer here in Colorado. He happened to have produced Kong toys for a long time, but he wasn't at the time that I met with him. And so I sat down with him and learned a lot about rubber toy manufacturing and the hurdles.
Okay.
It's very expensive to develop natural rubber products in the United States because the cure times are quite long. So you have to build, short stories, you have to build very big, very expensive molds. Anyway, so I'm meeting with this gentleman and he shows me a design that he had created and he already had all the molds for it, like $300,000 worth of molds.
Nice.
And it was idle. Like he wasn't using it. And it was a soda can and it says can toy on the side. And so this was my first American-made rubber treat dispenser. It's actually his design, not ours.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to call the company Can Toy.
No, you don't want to kick that can name down the street.
So I started thinking, well, this is what we stand for in the very beginning is just this one design. And so I came up with Soda Pup instead of Soda Pop. And it's turned out to be very fortuitous because it's catchy, it's memorable.
Oh, yeah. I could see a shirt with it. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's how it started.
We're speaking with Adam Baker. We're going to dive into a little bit more of the backstory of Soda Pup and what's on the horizon because they got some new things out there for you great dogs. But we got to take a quick break. So you know the drill. We got to sit, stay. We'll be right back.
Hey, have you heard? Four-Legged Life has a new digital newsletter. Here, let me show you how you get yourself subscribed. So you just type in Four-Legged Life, and that'll take you to the website. There we go. And this magic thing just appears, and you type in your email address. I'll use, let's see, how about coolestdogever@gmail.com. That's me. And then you just click on this thing here. There you go. It's the new digital newsletter from Four-Legged Life. Get subscribed today.
Our special guest is Adam Baker. He is the founder of Soda Pup. It's a great company based in Colorado. You've been in business a few years, but your timing, because we live in a weird time, I don't want to get into politics, but please share with people that everything you do is made within the United States. So we're not talking any tariffs or things like that, or boats in China waiting to deliver you materials, correct?
Correct. Yeah.
That's a pretty big deal.
From the very beginning, I was determined to make everything in the U.S. I actually served in the military, my first career, 5 years in the Coast Guard.
Oh, good for you.
And then I spent my career in the apparel and footwear business, and I produced everything overseas. So I've spent a lot of time throughout Southeast Asia making things. And I worked for very reputable companies that were large and had a lot of control.
Yeah, somebody named Nike. I don't know. That I've heard of them.
Yeah. But, as a small business, you don't have as much control.
No.
So you don't always know what's going on in terms of environmental laws, labor laws, materials, et cetera, et cetera. So when I started this company, I wanted to do everything in the U.S. so I could have more control.
Okay. That's a good
US has
business
the
tip.
highest environmental standards. They have the highest labor standards. All my materials are FDA compliant. Those are all produced in the U.S. as well. So I have a lot more control over the final product and knowing what I'm getting. So that was a goal from the outset. And the tariffs are a double-edged sword because we do almost half of our revenue outside the U.S. So, and as we impose tariffs on other countries, they impose retaliatory tariffs.
Yeah.
And so it is hurting my international business, but it's helping my domestic business.
So let's be a dog for a minute, okay, Adam? There are things that some of our dogs just love to just chew on solo, kind of just me, myself, and my chew toy that's safe. You mentioned you have 2 dogs, but you also have come up with a new product that actually can get the human involved. You're going to unveil it soon. So can you tell us first about this product, and let's think like a dog after that. So what's the new product that you're unleashing?
Sure. So we call it a lick stick.
Okay.
And if you can imagine, so most of the products that we make, like 95% of the products that we make, are enrichment oriented. So food-based enrichment, slow feeder bowls, lick mats, treat dispensers, puzzle toys for dogs, essentially. And so we were thinking about, well, what else can we do? And it occurred to us that most enrichment products are used solo by your dog. You give your dog a slow feeder bowl and you're not really involved once you give him the bowl or the mat or whatever. And so a lick stick is an interactive enrichment device. So imagine, this is really a poor description, but imagine a fly swatter.
Oh,
a fly
great.
swatter's got a handle and then it's got a head.
A big head.
A big head. And so our lick sticks are kind of like that. There's a long handle and then there's a head that has a texture on it, a pattern on it, where you can smear soft foods, whether it's pumpkin puree or yogurt or peanut butter or whatever it is. And then you hold it.
Yeah.
You extend it to your dog and your dog licks it. So in that way, it's more interactive, which can help, in theory anyway, can help you build a bond with your dog.
You could do a large maple leaf with a handle. There you go.
And
I just gave you a new product, man.
We've designed it in a way that we can create new versions relatively quickly and inexpensively.
Well, let me ask you about your 2 pets. You have a cat and 2 dogs. I think I want to come back and be a dog in your household. So who are the dogs and did they get to test the lick stick?
Oh, yeah, they're featured in the photography.
Oh,
actually.
of course. Okay, so who are they?
Yeah, so we have Quincy. Quincy is the cat. She's about 7 years old. She's a calico, sometimes very lovable, sometimes not.
Do you know what the saying is about calicos, Adam?
Well, no.
They're like a box of chocolate. They're sweet on the outside and nuts on the inside. I had one.
That is an apt description for this cat.
Okay.
And then we have a 10-year-old mutt that we got from the Humane Society. She's going blind. So we're kind of going through that process of doing things to help her. We put rugs at the top of the stairs and the bottom of the stairs so she can sense, where she is in the house and things like that.
And who is that? What's her name?
That's Sugar Plum. She was a Christmas dog many years ago.
All right. And who's your new rival?
We have a new puppy. She's about 10 months old now. We got her when she was 7 months.
Okay.
And that is Ladybug. And Ladybug we got from Safe Harbor Lab Rescue here in the Denver area. Turns out there's not a lot of lab in her, only about 20%.
Oh, wow.
She got a lot of Australian Shepherd and Vizsla. So she's she got a lot of working dog in her. So she's very energetic, very smart. And the key to success with her is lots and lots of exercise.
Good. So when you have something like a lick stiff, how does it benefit maybe a senior dog that may be having some fading eyesight? Because I have a feeling that Sugar Plum is tapping her powerful sense of smell.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, it's great because, I mean, her other senses are heightened. You can tell that she's listening. She's turning her head in the direction of sounds and so on. And so, yeah, she sees a lot. She can certainly find it with her nose. And the fact that we're holding it, I think in some ways is reassuring for her because we're right there standing with her.
So how does this work with a young, energetic dog, a dog like a ladybug? The fact that you are there with the treat, how does that help enrichment and maybe hone in a little bit of dog obedient manners? Yeah.
So, well, I have to admit, we haven't done that with her with this product yet because we just got first samples last week and we're rushing them off to a trade show. But we've posted about it on Instagram. And so it's been fascinating to see the response because so many people have said, this is going to be an excellent training device.
That's what I was wondering,
which wasn't really a part of the calculus.
Come on, take the cred, man. Take the win.
I should take the credit for it. The truth is that because we're small and privately held, we can try all kinds of things. And so I do that. And I'm oftentimes surprised by the things that are successful or how they ultimately get used because it wasn't what I was thinking in the first place. So the short story is I'm learning from our consumers all the time.
Which goes back full circle when you said the key to success is addressing your audience, your clients, and that is the public, the dog people, right?
Exactly. And the nice thing because we have this fast new product introduction cycle, we pour all of our money, all of our profits just go back into new product development. And so the cool thing about that is you're really compressing the amount of time when you learn something new and then apply it to the next round of product. And then you learn something more and then you apply it to the next product. So I'd like to think that we're getting better with time. We're getting smarter. We're learning more. And some things are a failure. We put it out there and it's like, if I had it to do over, I would have done X, Y, and Z different.
But I think failures make us better, don't you think? Sometimes?
Well, that's how you learn. I mean, but you have to, as a product designer, you have to be willing to let go of things and accept defeat on certain things.
Well, you
just have to let it go and keep moving.
Yeah. We have about a minute left, and I wanted to make sure we get in that since we last spoke, you also have a podcast. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, we do. So we have been fascinated by the people that have posted about our products on their Instagram feeds. And I mean, it is stunning the amount of expertise and skill, the knowledge base. And so I thought, well, wouldn't it be interesting? Well, I thought personally, who are these people? I want to know who is behind these accounts. And I thought I could learn from them. So we created the Soda Pup Enrichment Lab. It's a podcast.
Nice.
There's a video channel for it as well. And you can see it on our website, which is sodapup.com. There's on the top navigation banner, there's a place for the podcast. So you can watch the episodes. And so we interview people all around the world that are doing enrichment, largely with our product, but not exclusively with our product. It's not a commercial for us, but it's been fascinating. Our last episode was with a woman in Canada, Taylor, and she just published a book called The Happiest Dog on the Block, where she discusses a lot of kind of do-it-yourself enrichment for your dog. Fascinating book, beautifully written and illustrated. So we get to meet a lot of really interesting people in this process. Yeah,
I am here today with Adam Baker 2.0 of Soda Pup. And I am so happy to hear all the things that you've been doing even since we last talked back in the summer of 2023. So I wish you much success. I know there's dogs everywhere giving a woof about you. So again, how do people find your way to find Soda Pup?
Well, you can find our website at sodapup.com, SODAPUP.com. And our Instagram feed is at SodaPupDogToys. That's the easiest way to get to us.
Thanks so much for making our tails wag by watching this guest interview from Arden Moore's Four-Legged Life.
Four-Legged Life.
Make sure to subscribe so you're up to date with all of our Four-Legged Life content.
Four-Legged Life. Four-Legged Life.